Good morning guys, and welcome to this new video here on my YouTube channel. In this live tutorial, which is going to be very special, I will explain you in 5 simple steps how you can improve your performance on the water. And the special thing is that I will be trying all the tips straight away on the water, so after every step you will see the exact difference that it makes. And of course I also brought the GPS watch so we can measure the speed. So of course, the first thing is we need our equipment, and I have my board here almost ready in the van. The next thing that we need is of course the sail. And for this tutorial I actually brought something special, which is a completely new AC1, and I will now show you the first step that we need to do in order to get our equipment right and get more performance on the water. The first thing that we need to do is take a little bit care of the batten tension, because this is something that a lot of people are doing wrong, especially when you're getting a new sail. But you can do the exact same steps that I'm doing right now on your old sail, so you don't need anything new. So the basic thing that you do is put a little bit of tension on all of your battens before you rig your sail. Especially with new sails, you always have to check the top. So guys, now that the sail is rigged, we will do a first quick fix on our batten tension. And the rules are quite simple. The battens that give the profile in the lower part of your sail, they get a little bit more tension, and the battens that are more on the top of your sail, they get a little bit less tension. So I suggest we start right here at the bottom. And one second rule is that we want to take care that we do not get some dents in the sail. As you can see right here, we have a tiny dent here. But yeah, most of the batten is free and that's looking good. Sometimes you just can't avoid that there's a little bit of a dent. Now the exact same thing goes for the cross batten. And the professionals, of course, they are going for the millimeter, and they are sometimes also exchanging the battens in their sails. But if you are a free rider, free racer, you really don't have to do these things. But you have to take care for the basics, because for example, the bottom 2 battens, they might be blocking the rotation of your sail when they have too much tension. This extra tension doesn't really help you with anything. So you just want the batten to follow the profile of the sail, and that's good. Now come the 4 battens at the top of the sail. People make a very common mistake, and that is to pay too much attention to the wrinkles in the sail. So as you can see, when I release all the tension from this batten, the sail develops some wrinkles over there. And these wrinkles are really not an issue. And this batten, by the way, now, for example, if you were a complete professional, could be a batten where you take off ½ millimeter at the end of it with a saw. You can always tell that when this tiny little dent here builds. Batten also doesn't really need any tension. It's just there to keep the profile of the sail, and the top batten can keep a little bit of tension. Now, if you take a look at the sail from the top and you push it down here a little bit, you can see that all the battens are falling really nicely. Just this batten right here might still have a little bit too much tension, and we will keep it at this. You can do exactly this with all of your sails, and you might already have a different sail in your hands. Okay guys, so now that we have everything rigged and ready, and by the way, I'm taking a 117 liter board here from Futurefly. We bring the equipment down to the water, and then we will do something very, very special. I will put everything in the wrong place to show you the difference between a bad trim and a good trim. And of course for that I will also measure the GPS. And yeah, so the worst case scenario is what we're going to do right now. We're going to do everything wrong, and I would say let's carry the gear down and hope that we get some wind. Okay guys, we are now down at the beach, and it's looking really, really, really good. I'm already a little bit nervous because I want to get out and windsurf, but for the first session I'm now going to do something that I never did before in my life. I'm going to mess up my trim completely in order to show you guys the difference to a good trim. So the first thing that we're going to mess up is the mast base, and I actually don't know what the worst thing is that we could do right here. I mean, it's a lot of wind. What would a beginner think? Maybe all the way to the front, so we get the maximum control. It's already something that I never did before. The next thing is the boom height. Of course, it feels a little bit more convenient to have a lower boom. Low. The next thing is the downhaul, and some sails are actually a little bit harder to downhaul. So maybe we act as if we don't know how much outhaul is correct. And the outhaul, what do we do with the outhaul? I think I will make it as tight as possible. We tighten it all the way. This is also something that I see a lot with people who are starting out. Put it tight and kill all the profile that was left in this sail. The worst trim that I ever had in my life, and I will now see how fast I can go with this. And my beautiful girlfriend Anna is gonna film from the beach. Thank you, by the way. I hope I will get somewhere to 25 knots maybe. I don't know, maybe I won't get planing at all and catapult straight away, but let's see how I can do with the worst trim ever.
So beautiful, she was in love with the night, the way the sun shines, all she needed was light to have to hold, and nobody could make her feel down. She was always smiling from ear to ear, and everybody wondered if round would she ever know the feeling of tears. All she said to them was live your life just like you're young again. No, don't you cry, just get back up again. 'Cause if you wanna laugh, then live it better. If you want love, then stay together. If you wanna smile, then be forever.
Already a little bit exhausted, I have to say. It was not easy to ride this setup, but at the same time I was really surprised because I could actually go quite fast. My max speed, Anna, if you want to come a little bit closer, my max speed was 47.8 kilometers an hour. You will have to do the math what it is in knots, I think like 26, 27. But yeah, when the wind became a little bit stronger, especially on the other side, I could make the equipment fly. Of course, it was very physical, and that's the biggest downside, and I hope I will see a difference in a moment when I change the trim to a better one. Yeah, so the next thing that we're gonna do is take a look at the downhaul and get that right. And now, before we get to the outhaul, one very important rule. If you want to improve your trim, if you want to improve your setting, you do changes one by one. You only change one thing, you go out, you see how it feels, and you come back. So, this sail has a setting point, a trim point, downhaul point at the top. So we're just gonna follow that and do our first change, because the downhaul actually is one of the most important things that you can and should tune on your windsurf sail. And if you have that right, it's basically like 50% of your rig are now fine. So if you look at the sail now, it already looks a lot better. Some of the battens still have a little bit too much tension, by the way. Yeah, I'm gonna pull 1 centimeter more. Downhaul is right. I'm gonna go back out now again and see if I can improve my speed by a little bit. And to you guys out there, if you're new to this channel, feel free to subscribe. I'm gonna do a lot more tutorials like this one. I do vlogs basically every week, so stay tuned. And of course, leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video and appreciate the effort that we put in here. Guys, I'm back from the water. Unfortunately, Anna couldn't film so much because the wind was now more on the other side and it was a little bit gusty and patchy right in front of here. But guys, first of all, the speed difference. 59 kilometers an hour. This was actually super fast. Here you can see the rest of the data. So the speed difference was insane. Also the feeling of the whole equipment was completely different. The downhaul basically gave me a new sail. And yeah, so the feeling comparison, or what you're looking for is, you're looking for a light feeling in your hands. And the sail now basically felt like it was half the weight compared to before. But at the same time, you also don't want to overdo it. So if you feel like the sail is too light in your hand and you're not getting any power and the pressure point is not stable anymore, then you have too much downhaul. And I have to say, with the new sails like this one, you really have an advantage because you have this trim point, so you more or less know how much downhaul to put. And with the very old or older sails, sometimes you don't have this and it makes things more complicated. Put more downhaul, guys, in case you need it, and you will go faster, and also it will be less physical. We now had it all the way at the bottom the entire time. So this was blocking the equipment a little bit from flying. This didn't allow me to get in the right speed stance. And yeah, so I will put it now a little bit more up. I roughly know where to put the boom for my size. You will have to test it a little bit, but shoulder height, something like this is a good indicator, and from there you can adjust. So if the boom is all the way at the bottom, it's killing a little bit of your power. It's giving you, in theory, more control, but your board doesn't fly as much. And if you put it a little higher, like I'm gonna do right now, I mean, I had it all the way at the bottom. This is like day and night right now. It's gonna free that nose, and I don't know if I can beat my speed once again because I got a really nice gust. But if we break those 60 kilometers an hour today, man, that would be crazy. After this one, we still have to do the outhaul, we still have to do the base, and at the end I'm gonna give you some extra tips from my experience. But yeah, let's go. Bring it. Wow guys, I'm back at the beach, and I swear I didn't expect to improve my speed once again. The first run that I went out was like 53 kilometers an hour, something like this, so almost 30 knots. But then I had one really good run coming in and I was perfectly in control. So I actually am not sure how much I still have to change on the equipment, although it's still a little bit weird. 1 second. This watch is killing me. Exactly 60 kilometers an hour. Here are all the other speeds from the latest, or from the last run now. So I think, yeah, 1 kilometer an hour faster once again. What I have to say, come with me guys, is that now that I have the boom higher, I already can feel a lot of lift. So now what's happening is that my front foot is getting more loose in the foot strap, and sometimes I'm already tail walking a little bit, and lengthening the harness lines will give me more control again. So for a slalom race this would be perfect. For speed runs, however, I now tried it both. I tried long harness lines, short harness lines. I felt faster with them being shorter, but the next thing that we're gonna now change is the outhaul. I'm gonna put it where it's supposed to be. And then the last thing that we might have to change is the mast base, but I'm not completely sure if we actually have to change it. Now coming to the outhaul, this is something that is different when it comes to a slalom sail compared to a freeride sail. With a slalom sail, you want to do what I'm doing right now. You want, most of the times at least, the sail to barely touch your boom, and this deepens your profile It gives you more stability, especially when you're going deep on a downwind course in a slalom race. Like this, you keep a lot of the power, and when you pull your sail flat, then you kill the power, and that might make controlling your sail hard. On the other side, something important to you guys out there, when you pull your outhaul a little bit, it makes it easier to go crosswind or upwind, for example. This is something that I learned all the way back in the day when there was still formula racing. Outhaul systems, very, very convenient. And if you have a free race sail or free ride sail, you have to try some different settings. Regarding the outhaul crimp system, I will link you ours below in the video description. We created one ourselves with our surf shop, the Wind Lounge, and we put in all the best ingredients, and yeah, we are shipping that worldwide. I think it's 69 euros. Super, super convenient. Link down in the video description. And I would say, let's go.
Put all your stuff away and check out for the day. There's no time to waste when it's 100 degrees. Burns under my feet. Won't you have a drink with me? We head into town, see what it's about. Barely need a shirt, though the sun has almost set. Make the most of it. I know we will dance and sing. There's a heat wave. There's a heat wave rolling in. There's a heat wave, yeah. There's a party in the streets and the city's on fire.
Guys, back at the beach after the, what was this, fourth session? Yeah, I'm already feeling it a little bit. I am getting tired, to be honest. Almost 1 p.m. I think we started at 10 a.m. So 3 hours of testing, tuning and filming already. Let me tell you what happened now. Here you have all the speeds. I went 57.8 kilometers an hour on 2 seconds, a little bit slower on 10 seconds, of course. And to be honest, it felt exactly like this. I felt a little bit slower. The wind got a little bit lighter, and every knot of wind makes some difference in the speed when you're going full power. And regarding the feeling, I felt a lot more control. The nose of the board was pushed down by the sail because the sail was simply pushing down more. And this is now actually very interesting because with less outhaul, meaning when I pulled harder, it felt more free. So what happened before is that the mast base all the way at the front compensated the fact that I pulled the outhaul so strong. So the sail wasn't pushing down so much before, but the mast base was all the way at the front. So it actually felt kind of stable and okay. But now that I have the sail tuned in the right way, of course the mast base also is too much in the front, so I'm gonna change that now. That's the last step of the 5 steps. Regarding the mast base, of course you can get those also in the Wind Lounge if you want to. This is, by the way, one that I really like. It's from 0.7, and I put it in the middle because I know it's roughly supposed to be in the middle because I have a lot of experience, so I kind of know where to put it. But if you don't have that experience, if you don't know where to put it, there's a simple technique to find out the right position. Once you have your sail rigged the right way, you know, you have to do one thing right first. And what you do usually is you put your mast base either all the way to the front or all the way to the back. And if you have it in the back, for example, your board will start tail walking and your nose will become really, really free. And you go back to the beach and you put your mast base 0.5 centimeter to the front. Or maybe even less if you have a lot of time, but most of the time, you know, you don't want to go millimeter by millimeter. At some point you will feel that the board is flying comfortable on the back of the board, and this is then the position that you want to leave it at. And this is what we're now going to try on the water. And my girlfriend is dying behind the camera because we are filming since so long.
My knee hurts.
Your knee hurts?
Yes.
Thanks a lot for filming.
No problem.
Without Anna, this video would not be possible.
That's true.
Like so many other videos on this channel. to all the new people on here, I just recently changed into English. So this is my third English video on this channel, but many to come. So subscribe and leave us a thumbs up if you enjoy what you see.
I know it's gonna take some time, but I will make you mine. I'll go the extra mile. I'll do what needs to be done until the race is won. I'll go the extra mile. That's what I believe. I won't give up. I'll keep it up until it's over. I know it's gonna take some time, but I will make you mine. I'll go the extra mile. I'll do what needs to be done until the race is won. I'll go the extra.
I'm back at the beach. Now I'm actually tired because I was pushing really hard because I wanted to beat that top speed that I did earlier today. But the wind wasn't enough. And now just that I left the water, I can see the wind picking up again. But to conclude the mast base changes, it now felt almost perfectly, how you say, balanced, the whole setup. I would say the trim is now 80% done. So I could now go and compete like this, basically. Of course, it's not perfect, but it's 80% done. And 80% is quite a lot, actually, because usually when you unbox the sail and you just go out and leave it as it is, some people may even be at less than 60% of their, possible performance of the gear that they're already having. Like, it's not even like you need to buy anything new. And yeah, the good thing is with all the stuff that I now told you, with all the information, you can just go to the beach. You can try it. You don't have to try all the steps at once. I just did all the steps in like 3 or 4 hours, but I also more or less, of course, know what change brings what outcome. But I highly recommend to you guys, try it. And you can also actually try to do the same thing with the worst case scenario trim, just to know how it feels when it's completely messed up. And then you have a good comparison. And yeah, now regarding the speed, I didn't show it to you yet. And as you can see, 59.3 kilometers an hour. I would say that's still a really good speed for the 7.7 and medium board in these choppy conditions. It's not like I had a flat speed spot. And yeah, here you have all the rest in case you're interested. I would say if the wind now would have been as strong as it was before, I could have done maybe 62 kilometers an hour, something like that. But I think that then for my weight, at least, I'm 80 kilos and 190 centimeters tall, that would be kind of it. Of course, you can go faster in conditions like this, but it's a choppy lake. And to get that extra speed then, you really need to get those last 20% of tuning. And this is something that I often struggle a little bit myself, because these last 20% take so much more effort than the first 80% of tuning. With these last 20%, you could now start cutting the battens to get them 100% perfect instead of 95% perfect. You could start working on the spacers, of course. This is something that I usually also do, but it would be too much for this video. And then of course comes also the fine tuning. The boom, for example, it was still a little bit too low for me. Even put a little bit more effort into the mast base position. So yeah, this is what I would usually do if I'm not preparing for a competition and I just want to be ready with my setup to have fun on the water. I really hope you enjoyed it. I had lots of fun doing this, and we had even some unexpected results. Subscribe to this YouTube channel to not miss any of the many future videos that will be coming here. And I will also link you one of my just recent uploaded English vlogs right here, so you can check it out. And I would say that's it. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.